Hey, hi, what's up? Welcome to week 6. I'm so excited for this podcast today because learning about this changed my life. If you find yourself constantly seeking approval from everybody else, then this episode is for you. Today we're going to talk about external validation. It's kind of like sugar. A little bit of it is fun, but too much of it, you're going to feel like shit. I think external validation is basically like getting a dopamine hit, but as we all know with dopamine, the more you're constantly seeking out dopamine hits, the worse you feel. So when we're constantly seeking approval outside of ourselves, the less we actually trust our own ideas and insight and our own guidance, and the more we start to quiet that inner voice. We lose access to our intuition. So I think it's very important to live on much less external validation and live much more on your own internal guidance. From an evolutionary perspective, it was helpful and it can be helpful because it helps us deepen bonds with other people. It's how we created community. But when we rely on it too heavily, we lose our sense of self. We tend to crave it more when we are shifting identities. We want to try something new or start something new. We want to make a big life change. I think it's actually very common, especially if you look at children, they just want to seek their parents' approval. They're always looking in their parents' eyes like, am I doing this right? Look at what I'm doing, Mom. Check it out. We're kind of doing that with our community, if you think about it. So it's very normal. It's very human to want to do that. But when we're feeling like we constantly need it just to make a basic decision, then that's like a conditioned feeling of I must have entire group approval. This must be, my life is everybody's group project, which it's totally not. This is up to you. We tend to fear that we won't be accepted if we don't get that approval from each other. We will feel like maybe we're unsafe if we don't get that approval from each other, especially when we're conditioned to believe that we need it from other people. You don't necessarily want validation. What you really want is safety and belonging in your group. And we often learn to check for that safety outside of ourselves instead of within ourselves. I just want to reiterate that this is it's not a flaw, it's human nature. A lot of us developed this in childhood and kept it, and as you get older, it's time to let it go. It's part of maturing. The general pattern I notice when this shows up is I want to do this thing, the big dream, the business, the new idea. I look for a signal. I talk to a family member or a friend about it, and then I adjust whether or not I do it based on their reaction. I hear praise or excitement, I'm more likely to follow through with it. If I hear rejection or fear, I'm more likely to hold back and not do it, delay it, maybe dilute it, or just abandon it completely and be like, oh my God, why did I think of that? These are normal feelings. We've all been through this. But I want to remind you that people project their fears and limitations onto you, and it's not coming from a place of meanness towards you. It's not coming from a place of them not wanting you to have the life you want, but more it's their own fear of what could happen, their own experiences of failure where they felt like they couldn't overcome that failure, and they don't want you to experience pain. So they're trying to make your life easier by telling you not to do something, but they don't have the same ambition as you. They don't have the same vision as you. They don't have the same skills as you. They just aren't you. So it's unfair for you to believe their fears and limitations over your own abilities. So let's dive into some journal prompts. I think I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I do want to know, just make it known to you that there are 3 types of validation that we tend to seek outside of friends, family, workplace. That's one group of 3. The other group of 3, though, would be men, women, and parents. And those I think are big, and it depends on your gender and who you are interested in romantically, but romantic particular validation I think is a big one that causes a lot of us to hold back. So I want you to think about all of these journal prompts with those perspectives, okay? Think about the different types of people that you could get this validation from. Number 1, for what decisions do I frequently look outside of myself for approval? These could be both big and little. I find the more times we do it on little things, the more common it is for big things. But just bring awareness to it, no shame. How you decorate your house, what you're going to eat for dinner, where you go to travel, what job you have, who you date, stuff like that. Number 2, what decision am I delaying until somebody else agrees with me? I think so many times we're looking for just one person to be like, yeah, you should do that, for us to think that it's okay to do it. And it's do you need that, or can you just choose to do it on your own? These ones, I'm going to have you look at this from a romantic perspective for a second, but it could go for more than that. What part of my worth feels louder when the people I'm attracted to or performing for approve of me? So there's going to be a thing that you do that when people you're performing for, so this could be at work, or people that you're attracted to, when they give you accolades on that, you're going to like try to make that personality part of you bigger because they're giving you praise for it. So I want to know what feels louder there. Also though, what part of you wants to hide away in those experiences too? Is there something that you're hiding from those people? I think that's a very important thing to go in and check with and learn to love and accept about you and not let it be something that you shy away from. Who would you be without performing desirability? So instead of wearing a mask for your romantic partners or potential romantic people, I want you to just who would you be without peacocking essentially for these people? Especially because I think the most healthy, deep down, authentic connections are going to be the ones that see you fully, not the ones that see you for your performance. Number 3, this kind of goes with the first one I said. Where do I shrink to be relatable? This can go for every relationship in your life, but it does come up loudly in careers and it does come up loudly in romantic partnerships. Number 4, what would I say, do, or create if I was not managing other people's comfort? You don't need to manage your palatability to other people. Just what would you do? From parents, the next one, I want you to think about parents. We generally want their approval because they have given us a sense of identity and a sense of direction since we were children. We subconsciously will seek their permission and approval until we get to the point where we're okay with breaking it and choosing to do what we want to do regardless of what our parents think. We fear disappointing them, and we tend to feel like, am I doing this the right way? But I want you to ask yourself, long term, would you rather disappoint your parents or would you rather disappoint yourself? And it gets even louder when you have kids, because it's who do I want to be for my kids? It's probably way different than who your parents wanted you to be. They are trying to hand you wisdom, and that's great. Take their wisdom without taking their path, their exact idea. Use your own vision. So back to journal prompts. What choice still feels like I need permission from my parents? Number 2, what does adulthood mean to me now? Outgrowing your parents' validation isn't rejecting your parents, it's just maturing. It's just you growing up. And it can feel emotional because their approval probably used to mean survival on some level, especially when you were really little. There's these really deep visceral memories that we have where if they don't approve of me, I don't get food, I don't get shelter, so I have to listen to what they say. But now as an adult, it's optional. So it can still feel emotional, it can still feel hard to navigate, but it's your choice. You can mature and grow beyond this part of your life. Okay, the last journal prompt today. Would you still want this if nobody found it attractive? Or would you still do this if nobody could see that you were doing it? If the answer is yes to that, you're getting more aligned to what you really want for your life. What I want for you deep down is to shift your internal dialogue from what will they think to what will I think. The more you can lean on what will I think, the more you will trust yourself and make decisions from what you truly want deep down for your life as a whole, for what you truly need deep down. For example, I need a lot of rest, and I used to feel really weird about it. Maybe it was because of hustle culture, maybe it was because people around me didn't eat as much, but I would drink so much caffeine and force myself to stay awake. My eyes would be wide open trying to stay awake, and I'd try to keep up with everybody else, but I literally just can't do that. And it took years of me over explaining to people oh, I need so much rest, and oh, I can't do this, and oh, I can't do that. And now I'm just I'm out, I'm gonna go take a nap. But it took me such a long time to understand that I needed this, and it was okay for me to have this in my life as a lifestyle. So I want you to learn how to trust yourself, respect yourself enough to create a life that supports who you really are, not who you want to be for somebody else. Before asking for reassurance this week, I want you to ask yourself for reassurance. What do I think about this? And then go back out to other people, before you get all their opinions. At least let it be the first answer and not the one you come back to at the end. The other thing is, it's great to have external validation. It's great when people love you and say you're doing great things and give you accolades. That's not the problem, but if you live off of that and that is your only source of confirmation that you're doing okay and you're doing what you are supposed to be doing, it can really easily be taken away from you. You can get that ripped out underneath you because people can change their minds. Opinions are fluid. You don't want to source all of your belonging and all of yourself into what other people think about you and your choices. And it's not that you stop enjoying the praise, it's just that you don't feel the need for it so much anymore. You don't need it to breathe, you don't need it to feel safe. So allow yourself to let go of, I say, both positive and negative opinions from other people. When people bring you negativity, okay, whatever, that's your internal world. When people bring you positivity, it's that's so beautiful. It's the cherry on top of my ice cream. Thank you for telling me. but I already know that I'm supposed to be doing this. I already know that I'm good at this. Like, I want you to have that much confidence and self-trust in yourself that praise doesn't mean so much to you that you have to have it to live. Basically, what I'm saying is you don't need permission, you don't need applause. You're allowed to make these choices for yourself first and then let everything else be a bonus. All right, that's external validation. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm super excited. Next week, we're going to talk about marketing yourself and how it can feel kind of annoying. So how to do that from a place of confidence and trust and not worry so much about what people will think. All right, love you guys. See you next week.